and welcome to day 6 of the Great Norfolk Broads Adventure 5. And what a difference a few hours makes, huh? Can you see that? It is glorious this morning. Absolutely beautiful. No wind, the sun's shining, the rivers are mirror calm, you know, and there is just me and, don't know if you can see that, actually 2 Brink Sonnets are the only boats here at Neatishead. I'm in Brink Sonnet number 3 and that's Brink Sonnet number 1 just behind me, so yes, wee bit of a minor coincidence, but yeah, I mean, what a glorious start. You know, it feels so good to get out and actually do this little wee sort of good morning outside for a change this week, because I've kind of been stuck in the boat for most of the adventure. And it's, I mean, I don't know, can you hear that? Just the birds? And, oh, wonderful, wonderful. Anyway, yes, good morning. How are you doing? You okay? I had a good night last night. Obviously I went to the White Horse. Got to say, the White Horse is a wonderful, wonderful place to come and enjoy an evening's meal, good few drinks. The stay, I love this little stay. It's a bit busy sometimes, especially I suppose in the peak times, you know, during the summer and all that. I don't think you would struggle to get in there, and because it's quite narrow, you know, it's it would be awkward to get in and out down the back there. But if you can get in at Neatishead, very, very peaceful. In fact, actually, just saying that, what happened last night was obviously I went to the pub, had a few drinks, and then I came back. Let me just put my coffee down here. Yeah, I'm trying to give you lots of pretty stuff in the background this morning. I don't want to point you directly into the sun, but yeah, I went to the White Horse, had a lovely drink, you know, fantastic meal. I mean, oh, it was the food really was gorgeous, you know, and it's, you'll never be disappointed, and it really is so difficult to choose between the Lion and the White House. I think I might have said last night, can't really remember, but I think I might have said last night that the Lion just sort of pinches it as the better one, but really, to tell you the truth, it's so close. It's more a case of, if you're in the area, go to either of them, because honestly, both are fantastic. But I came back last night, and obviously it had been a bit of a windy, wet, you know, dull, horrible day yesterday, but last night the wind died, the rain stopped, the clouds went away, and I actually ended up having, I was sitting just there on the bow of the boat, and just looking up at the night sky, because the clouds rolled away, but because there's no light here, you had a little bit of light pollution from the village, but there's very little light here at all, and the stars above were beautiful. I mean, it was a crystal clear sky, you know, and it was like a million stars just shining through the night sky, you know, and it was, oh, it takes your breath away, it really does, you know. So yes, it was quite a good, peaceful, relaxing evening last night. I really must try and figure out and maybe get used to trying some nighttime, like proper nighttime photography. You know, that long exposure stuff. You know, I'm not really very good at it. I've got quite a nice wee camera which takes some good photos, but never really sort of tried any of that sort of nighttime stuff, because last night that would have been absolutely awesome photograph up there, you know, with all those stars, you know. But yeah, so the time, by the way, is currently about 7:15. I've been up for about an hour or so. I'm just having a sort of a relaxing start to the day. Well, that's kind of the way the adventure's gone this week, hasn't it? But because of the glorious weather, I've obviously missed sunrise, but because of the glorious weather, I'm actually quite motivated today to get my arse in gear and do stuff. You know, I'm definitely one of these people that sort of reacts very positively to the sun. You know, it's just like, bless, give me some of that magical ray stuff. You know. But yeah, but I don't know where I'm going to go today. I've no idea. I mean, I could go up to Dilham, because I mentioned that yesterday, didn't I? But that would be too short a cruise, because Dilham's just up there, you know, especially if I leave like in the next hour or something like that, you know. So I'm not going to go there. I did think about maybe going to Wroxham, and because I've got a low air draft boat, maybe, just maybe, I'd be able to slip under Wroxham Bridge and up to Colchester, because I've never been up that that sort of area of the rivers before. So that would be nice. And if it stays like this, you know, it'd be a wonderful, wonderful cruise up to Colchester, because apparently it's very beautiful up there. But yeah, I mean, today's obviously Thursday. Is today Thursday? Yeah. And I obviously need to be in the Wroxham Horning area on Friday, because I take the boat back on Sunday, you know, which is just typical. The good weather starts coming in just as I'm winding down the adventure. But never mind. As I said, I think I said it on Facebook, on one of my posts this morning actually, because when I got up, had a cup of coffee, and first thing you do, check Facebook. I would rather be on a boat in torrential rain than basking in the sun in my garden. Yeah, it's true, it's true. You know, I don't care that the weather's been quite miserable at the start of the adventure, you know. I've been having a great time on board the boat anyway, you know. About the only one day that was really sort of a bit of a pain was obviously Monday, with the wind was too high, you know, and I was kind of stuck there. But I would have rather have been there, definitely, you know. Just love this place, love the boats here, fantastic. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent again. So yes, I'm kind of thinking Wroxham today, and under the bridge, but you know what things are like, plans change, last minute decisions, you know, just like, to hell with it, I'll just stop here instead. So yeah, not really sure what we're going to be doing today, but no plans, but an idea. Yeah. Right. So yeah, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go away and finish my coffee, get myself all sort of organised, and yeah, if the day is going to be like this, it's going to be a great day indeed. So I might actually get a nice early start for a change, you know, instead of just sort of hanging around. So yeah, so I'll go there now, and I'll get myself all organised, and as always, I will keep you updated as the day goes on about what's going on. So yes, until later, I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now. Cheers. Hey, just a little wee update for you. I am on the way. Yes, got a not an uber early start, but I'm getting a good start this morning. that sun definitely sort of reinvigorates you, especially after all the rain and the wind that I've had in the first part of the week. So I just left Neatishead there. Really got to. It really is a beautiful wee stay, I've got to admit, you know, and just the cruise down to it is just so wonderful and peaceful, and it really is gorgeous. It really is. I love this little wee stretch of river here. It's like a proper river, you know. It's a bit tight and it's a bit twisty, you know, and it's slow and everything like that. And admittedly, if you're in a very large boat and you met another very large boat heading into the stay or out the stay, not a lot of room to pass, and it says it's difficult to turn, but really if you're careful, there is actually plenty of room. You know, you can actually, even a big boat, you know, just a wee bit careful, but there is ample space to turn a large boat. And yes, you know, if you've ever thought about coming down to Neatishead, try it. You know, don't be intimidated by how sort of narrow and twisty it is, you know, because down by the Staithe you'll get turned no problems, you know. So yes, we are on our way. We're just heading, like I say, we're just leaving Neatishead, and yeah, I am going to try to head towards Wroxham today, I think. It would be nice if we could get under the bridge, but Wroxham Bridge is one of those bridges, you know, you can get under or you might not get under, you know. I'm quite low air draft, so I'm kind of hoping that I'll get under, but you know, you never know, one thing I did discover though, because I was waiting for the boat on Saturday, you see, and I thought, well, the original idea, you know, not plan, idea, was to actually head up straight up to Coltis Hall, you know, leave Barnesbridge, go under the Wroxham Bridge and go straight up to Coltis Hall. So I went into the office and I inquired if they had the number for the bridge pilot, you know, just while I was sitting there waiting, so I could give them a wee phone and plan and sort of get some information and plan in advance about going under, you know, and times and what have you, you know. And it turns out, now I don't know what's happened, okay, I don't know what's going on, but I'm assuming something's happened between the bridge pilot and Barnes Brinkcraft. Maybe not, okay, but it turns out that the bridge pilot won't actually take any Barnes Brinkcraft under Wroxham Bridge now. Okay. So that was a wee bit alright, but the upshot of that is that Barnes Brinkcraft, if you're happy, are happy to let you go under the Wroxham Bridge yourself, which means that saves my about £12 or something like that, I think it is, for the bridge pilot. So yeah, that's if you feel confident enough, that's a wee bit of good news. You know, you don't have to mess around with a bridge pilot for Wroxham Bridge. You just go up, check the gauge, make sure that, you know, you get the heights correct, you know, and if you feel confident enough, under you go, on the way up to Coltis Hill, you know, just all by yourself. So that's actually a bit of a bonus. I don't need to worry about mooring up, making a phone call, getting charged for it, you know, just going just up to the bridge, check out the gauge. If I feel confident, straight under. Although I must remember, right, I was filling up my water tank there before I left, and I must remember I've got my life raft sitting on my roof at the back. So now a life raft is only what, that thickness, you know, about half an inch or something like that. So I don't think that'll be a problem. But if I go under and it's very, very tight, you know, it wouldn't be the first time I've just managed to slip under a low bridge, you know. If it's tight enough, okay, that life raft is, and I don't take the life raft down off the roof, that life raft is getting hit by the bridge and streaming off the back of the boat. So yeah. But hey, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. You know, I can just as long as I remember to if I'm going to go under on and it's going to be quite tight, as long as I just sort of slip on under with the life raft off the roof. So yeah. Anyway. So yeah. Other than that, you know, if I don't get under Wroxham Bridge. There has been quite a wee bit of rain and everything like that, so to tell you the truth, I'm not entirely sure if I will be able to get under or not. But if I don't get under, then I really don't actually know where I'm going to go today at all, to tell you the truth. Because I obviously need to end up in like the sort of Horning area, or that sort of stretch of river on Friday night, because I'm taking the boat back first thing in the morning on Saturday. Yeah, I really don't know. If I can't get under Wroxham, where would I go, you know? No idea, not got a Scooby. But the advantage is that the time is currently only, well, it's about 8:35 at the moment, so it's very early. I've got plenty time. It's supposedly, having said that, a bank holiday weekend this weekend. So I'm suspecting that it will actually get, and especially since it's actually supposed to be a nice weekend, I think it's going to be possibly quite busy this weekend. So yeah, getting anywhere near Wroxham on Friday could be interesting, but we'll wait and see. We'll play it by ear, okay? We'll wait and see how things go. But yeah, that's basically the update at the moment. I got myself all showered, dressed, freshened up, you know, I feel a bit more alive now, you know, I've got another wee coffee on the go. Something else I also need to do is I need to do the Admiral's walkthrough of Brink's Sonnet. And I'll need to figure out exactly when I'm going to do that, if I'm going to do that today or tomorrow, but I'll need to sort of figure that, sort that out as well. So yeah, well, that's the update so far. Everything's going very well. It's a beautiful, gorgeous, proper Broads boating morning this morning. So I might actually end up having a day just plottering around the rivers. Maybe up to Coulter's Hall. If not, I don't know, maybe down to Salhouse, Wroxham, Broad, back to Ranworth. Could I really go to Ranworth? Maybe go back to Ranworth actually if I don't get under Wroxham. If I can get there early and I can get a space. We'll wait and see. Plenty time to figure it all out. But yeah, so I'm going to go there now, and as always, that sun really strong in my eyes, by the way, reflecting off the water. Yeah, I'm going to go there now, and as always, I'll keep you updated on the events of the day, see where the day takes us, and hopefully we'll get some really lovely footage today. So yeah, until later, until I've got something to update you with, I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now. Cheers. just a little wee update for you. My God, my God, this is what Bros boating is all about. This is so serene. This is gorgeous. I've just been coming down the river, and I've been making a lovely wee sort of short cruise down the river, and it has been glorious. I mean, truly wonderful, tranquil, peaceful, calm. It's incredible, you know, considering the weather that we had at the start of the week. You know, I've got the front door open, I've got the window behind me open. I could open this, you know, but there is still that sort of slight nip to the air, I'll maybe open that later, because I think it's going to be a wonderful day later today. And I just wanted to say, you know, there's something about, you know, cruising down the rivers in such calm serenity, you know, of such peaceful tranquility, that really has such an incredible effect on your mind and your body. You know, you just sort of, you relax in a way that you never thought would really be possible, you know. It's just, I mean, obviously I work in a city and everything like that, and it's the job I do is quite, it's not physically taxing, you know, but it's quite sort of a mentally stressful job at times, and just to get away from it all, you know, and to just sort of find this peaceful serenity is difficult to describe until you actually experience it, you know, until you actually come away and spend a week, especially if you manage to get such glorious weather as this, you know. It has a very unique, I find, effect on your mind, and it really does completely de-stress you, you know. And it's no wonder that I have just totally fallen in love with Broads boating, or boating in general for that matter, I suppose, you know, not that I've ever been anywhere else, you know. But yes, there is definitely something about this whole sort of just getting away from it all, you know. And okay, yes, I could probably do that elsewhere, you know, and I could go abroad and everything like that, you know, and lie on a beach somewhere, and, you know, in a paradise island or something like that, you know. But, you know, I think one of the things that I like about the Broads is that there's, you know, even the journey to and from is so sort of stress-free, you know. I mean, really, you jump in the car, you travel for a few hours, you get to your destination, get to your boat, and that's it, away, you know. You take the boat back, you load up the car, and away again, you know. And the only thing you have to worry about is just sort of traffic. But if you plan your journey, that's even not a problem there, you know. I mean, granted, it's been a very, very, very long time since I was last on an airplane, but I mean, as I understand nowadays, you know, you have to, you've got the worry of how you're getting to the airport, you get in a taxi, you're leaving the car there, you get, you know, a bus or a train or whatever, you know, then you've got to be there like hours early, you know, to check in, then you hang around, you know, for hours, you know, and then you've got all these body scanners and x-ray scanners and passports and customs, and okay, you get duty free, but you got to be careful about what duty free you get, you know. And it's, nah, I can't be arsed with any of that stuff, you know. When I go on holiday, I just want to get in the car, go to my destination and start my holiday, you know. And that's one of the beauties about boating in Britain, you know. Okay, sometimes it's not cheap, but it's worth it, you know. It's, you just jump in and away you go, you know. So yeah, it really is a wonderful calming experience. And everybody goes on about, you know, oh, you know, I had an amazing time and it was brilliant, you know, and I'll come back again, you know, and it was, but nobody really ever sort of mentions, you know, what it does to your body, you know, what it does to your mind, just the way that it calms you, you know, what makes it so unique, you know. And I suppose everybody is different, you know. Everybody finds their own sort of reasons for enjoying it, you know, but everybody's just so friendly and helpful, and you know, it really is, it's something very, very unique. And if you have ever thought about boating, you know, wherever you may be, you know, I mean, it doesn't need to be the Norfolk Broad, you know, I'm quite sure a canal boat, you know, would be just as calming, you know, well, except until you got to a lock. And then it would be all hands on deck, you know. But yeah, I mean, if you've never been on a boating holiday, you know, I mean, and you need to escape the rat race, because I mean, I think that's one of the beauties about it all, you know, is that it's the escape from the rat race of sort of city life, you know. And yeah, it's definitely a very unique experience, you know, that has a very intangible effect on your body and your mind, and you know, and you just, you know, after a week's cruise, you know, you just sort of feel so relaxed and, you know, carefree, and you know, Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase, Hakuna Matata. Ain't no passing plane, it means no worries. It's too early for that singing and dancing. I've not done any of that stuff today, this week at all, actually, you know. I don't think the weather has been conducive to getting that sort of energy level up, you know, but I mean, there's definitely something about the weather like this that it really does sort of give you a lovely wee boost. So yeah. I'm not going to inflict any sort of singing or dancing on you today, certainly not now. That might change after a few beers later, but yeah, it's yeah, anyway, so if I don't do any singing and dancing later, there you go, there's a little singing and dancing, but that's as far as I go. I do not have a singing voice at all, by the way. This is why I mime to the songs, you know, I don't actually sing them. So yes, anyway, we're just cruising down the river, and we left How Hill there. It was nice to see a number of hire craft doing the wild moorings at on the River Ant. I passed Brink Serenade actually at How Hill. I had a brief wee chat with them in the White Horse last night, just as I was leaving. They had moored up at Gay Stave. They came up to Neatishead, had a wee look into Neatishead. I don't know why they didn't stay. They went in, maybe they just wanted somewhere a wee bit more open or relaxing or whatever. Maybe they're a wee bit unsure, I'm not sure. But yes, they came into Neatishead, stayed after their meal at the White Horse, and then they left. And obviously they've come down the River Ant and moored up at How Hill, which was a good choice, by the way, because the How Hill moorings are very calm and peaceful and quite serene as well. And there's plenty of them, you know. So yeah, it was nice to see Brink Serenade. I really do like that boat, you know. I know I had a quick wee look around. The captain's blog, he hired Serenade last year in March. Oh, hold on a wee second, I've got somebody trying to overtake her. Obviously I'm going a wee bit too fast for them, so I'll just let them pass there. didn't think I was going very slow, but obviously they are wanting to get a move on. Yeah, okay, well, I'll let them by anyway, so. Seem to be, I don't know where they're going, but they seem to be in a wee bit of a hurry this morning. Sorry about that, I don't think I was going very fast. It's a 4 mile an hour road, river. I was doing about 4.1, I thought, according to my little Speedo app. But obviously they're needing to get wherever they're needing to get to, so they're not going uber fast, but obviously they're wanting to get. Well, anyway, I'm not going to go into too many details. Maybe they were just maybe they wanted to see the calm rivers behind me and not the broken waters of my wash. Yeah, okay, they're away. So yeah, sorry, what I was saying was I was the captain's blog. He hired Brink Serenade in March last year, and that was when I actually met up with him for the first time. I had a wee sort of look around that, and got to admit, you know, the Brink Serenade. I mean, the boat itself is a lovely boat, you know. But I love that design of boat, you know, and it's actually the same. I think I've mentioned this before. It's the same design as the Royal Oak that I'm hiring in August. Now, obviously, the Royal Oak is an older boat than Serenade. I couldn't afford Serenade, especially in August, you know. Just way too expensive, far too much out of my price. I shouldn't even be able to afford the Royal Oak, you know. But what the hell, you know. No, I just really like that design of boat, it's like it looks like a boat, like a proper boat, you know. But it's very low air draft, you know, and it's got a lovely open plan sort of saloon kitchen area, you know. And yeah, I just really sort of fell in love with that design of boat. So I'm looking forward to actually spending 11 nights on Royal Oak. A wee bit concerned, I'll admit, that about whether or not I can handle the Royal Oak. And a heron just flew right in front of the GoPro, and it's not on. Oh well. So yeah, I'm a wee bit concerned because obviously I don't have a front door, you know. I've only got a rear door. I do have an open panel, sort of sliding roof on it, but whether or not I can sort of jump out the side of it, because I sit more sort of central a wee bit. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. It's also a 38 foot, which is the largest I've tried to like sort of handle by myself. So yeah, I'm a wee bit concerned, you know, about whether or not I'll be able to handle it. But you know, 11 nights, you know, I'll get used to it. I'll figure something out, you know. But that's August, and I'm rambling rubbish, and again. But yes. So yeah, I'm just what I was trying to say is Brink Serenade looks like a lovely boat, and I would love to hire her one day and spend an extended time on board, but it will probably have to be sometime during the off-peak months that I can hire her, because obviously she's a new boat. She's very modern. She's obviously part of the elite range, and therefore a wee bit expensive. But anyway, so right, I'm going to stop babbling now. Okay, I'm going to stop babbling. I think I'm approaching London Bridge shortly, so I'll go there now, and yeah, we'll see where the day takes us. And yeah, it's a beautiful morning, feeling very, very good, and yeah, it's going to be a good day to be out on the river, definitely. So until later, until we've got something to update you with, I'll speak to you soon. So until then, bye for now. Cheers. Just another wee update for you. I came down the River Ant there, past obviously How Hill, under London Bridge. Rings Jazz that went by me on the River Ant. They were obviously just pulling in to the water point at London Bridge, so they didn't get very far in front of me. But well, you know, I suppose, you know, I was obviously feeling maybe they're in a rush to get somewhere, and I was maybe going a wee bit too slow, and I didn't think I was going very slow, but oh well, never mind. But yes, I came down the river and got to the mouth of the Ant, and I've turned right onto the Bure, and I'm currently heading up towards Horning. But I wanted to have a wee word with you. Okay, something happened at the start of the year, okay, and I don't know why it came about. I don't know what the thinking is behind it. There are several theories and explanations, But obviously last year, it is a bit of broad sporting news, so I'm going to just touch on a subject. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to touch the subject. I'm not opening a can of worms, and I'm not sort of criticising anybody whatsoever, okay, or any company. But obviously I was with Richardson's last year, and tried two of their boats, and lovely boats. Love Swan Radiance. Loved Swan Radiance. Really did. But this year, I decided I was going to take a short break, you know, and just try a little bit, try Barnes Brinkcraft this year, you know. Purely just because, you know, I just want to try different boat yards and different boats, and, you know, see what the customer experience is all like, and what the different boat yards are like, you know. And I thought, well, try Barnes Brinkcraft this year, and then maybe I could go back to Ridgeton's next year, you know, and then maybe try Bridgecraft down at Acle, you know, or Silverline down on Blundell, you know. Just try different boat yards, you know, give a good sample of the different types of boats, you know, and boat yards available to people who want to go boating on the Broads. So the news that happened early this year didn't affect me, thankfully. But a number of people had hired with Richardson's last year, you know, paid for their holidays, booked it all up, everything was fine, you know. Some of the people were by themselves, you know, solo, like myself. Some of them were maybe an adult with two children, you know. I believe there was one or two in that category. Not young children by any means, you know, teenagers, big strapping teenagers, you know, 13, 15 years old. But everybody got, all those people that were basically one adult, you know, didn't matter how old the children were, one adult, got an email or a phone call round about January, late January, early February, I think it happened. In some cases, literally a week before they were due to go on their holiday, got an email saying that due to a change in Richardson's policy, they are no longer doing solo hires. And even if they were, like I said, a single adult with two very capable teenage boys, or kids, or sons, daughters, whatever, they were still classed as a solo, and their booking was cancelled. They were given a full refund, and to apologise for the inconvenience, they were then given a £50 gift voucher to use on Richardson's boating holidays. Now, bear in mind, this is in some weeks, like 1, 2, maybe 3 weeks before they were due to take over their boat. And I've got to say, okay, I don't know what the reason was, okay. Some say Richardson, I think Richardson said it was because there was a change in policy with the holiday brokers, you know, like Four Seasons and Blake's, that no longer permit solo. I'm sorry, for me that doesn't quite wash, you know, because I mean every boat yard tends to be you know, affiliated in some way with these holiday brokers, why should other boat yards, why should even Richardson's themselves permit the solo, but all of a sudden, you know, it's like, oh, it goes against Blake's holidays or Whole Season's holidays, and we can no longer do solos. I don't know. Some say there was an abnormal solo hire incident among solo hires last year.
maybe one or two of them were actually a bit serious. Okay, I can understand that. I can understand that, you know. But I've got to say, okay, that I think Richardson's, if that was a change in their policy, fair enough. I think that's a mistake on Richardson's part. I think it's going to cost them dearly, because if you're by yourself, or you've got, like say, one with a couple of kids or whatever, you know, if you're just the solo adult, and you're looking for a cheap boating holiday on the Broads, Richardson's, being the largest hire fleet on the Broads, was kind of the place, and a great place to go. They have a vast array of different styles, age, class, you know, price. You know, you could go for a very modern, expensive boat, you know, be it large or small. You could go for a very old, you know, but very cheap boat, you know. And they especially seems to do a lot of the sort of the forward steer cruisers, you know, very, very handy, especially if you're a fisherman during the fishing season, you know. Get yourself a forward steer cruiser or a saloon boat, you know, out in the rivers during the fishing season, do your bit of fishing, and then, you know. So to suddenly turn round and say we're no longer doing solo hires, that's it, end of story, you know, here's your money back, you know, and a £50 gift card, they're going to lose out. I don't think they've quite thought this through, you know. I think they've got all these boats, and all of a sudden they're cutting off a huge market, you know. And I think that's going to really sort of hurt them in the long run, because all of a sudden people that wanted to go boating by themselves are no longer just automatically going to Richardson. They're going to go elsewhere, you know. So they're going to have all these boats, you know, but where I'm not saying that it's like 50% or percent of their business was solo hires, you know. It's probably might only be as low as like 5 or 10%, but that's still 5 or 10% of the boats that are not getting hired and are not earning money, you know. Which over the course of a season, that's a lot of money, you know, even just at that. And to turn around and say, here's a £50 Richardson's gift voucher, seems a bit of a kick in the teeth, actually, because what's the point? You just cancelled a solo hires holiday, you know, so what's the point of giving them a £50 gift voucher for Richardson's if they can't use Richardson's, you know? And it's like it's a totally empty gesture, because you're giving them a voucher that they can't use, you know, as compensation for a holiday that you cancelled, in some cases 1 to 3 weeks before they were due to take over, you know. I mean, it just seems so totally wrong to drop this on people out the blue, you know. I mean, if you're going to cancel if you're going to change your policy, you know, your solo hire policy, okay, fair enough. But what I think Richardson should have done, okay, is I've said, right, from 2019 we're no longer taking any solo hires. This is the last year that we're doing solo hires. Fair enough, you know. Or as of January, you know, this year, we're no longer taking any more solo hire bookings for 2018, but we will honour the solo bookings that we've already taken. You know, people get a little bit upset for the future, but holidays are still sort of still available. You know, people can still go on their holiday. I mean, if they're booked and paid for their holiday, they can still go on their holiday, you know, and they can still enjoy it, you know. It just means that next year they have to go and find a holiday elsewhere. But they didn't. They just cancelled all solo hires out of the blue, gave them their money back, and gave them a very empty gesture of a £50 gift voucher that they can't use because they're not doing solo hires, you know. And it just seems very much a bit of a kick in the teeth, actually, you know. And I don't know exactly why or what the reason behind the solo hire policy was, but it just seems to have just been completely and utterly handled very badly, and I know that it's pissed off a lot of people. I mean, of course it is, you know. 1 week before your holiday and all of a sudden you find you don't have a holiday, you know, and you've got to run around trying to, I mean, if you want to go boating, you've then got to run around the few boat yards that do permit solo helms to try and see if they've got any boats that you would perhaps like to hire, you know. I mean, it really was a bit badly handled, you know. I mean, like I say, I was very fortunate this year, you know, because I had already planned to try Barnes Brincraft this year, so it didn't really affect me, you know. But I know how I would have felt, you know, had I been sitting at home and I get a phone call saying, "Hello, Mr. Thompson, this is such and such at Richard's hire craft. I'm sorry to say we've had a change in policy and we're cancelling your booking, and you'll get a full refund in the next 3 to 5 days." I would have been like, "What? What do you mean you're cancelling? You know, my holiday's like due in like 4 weeks time. You know, how can you cancel at 4 weeks time?" And I would have been fuming, absolutely fuming at Richardson's for pulling that stunt. But like I say, you know, I mean, a lot of reasons and excuses and what have you have been bouncing around, you know, and I still don't know the actual proper reason, you know. Richardson say one thing, somebody else says something else, you know, and but it still just doesn't make sense. And if for whatever reason they decide to change that policy, fair enough, but I personally think they handled them very, very badly indeed. But on the other hand, Barnes Brincraft and I think Bridgecraft at Acle, perhaps Freedom Boats down south, and Silver Line I think in Brundle down south as well. I'm not sure, I could be wrong, but certainly Barnes Brincraft, they're going to be going like, "Whoa, beauty, here we go," you know, because all that booking from the people, you know, people going to Richardson's, you know, no longer go to Richardson's. Those other boat yards will be like laughing to the bank, you know, because I mean, okay, once again, you know, not a lot of people, when people come, it's not a lot of solo hires, you know, it's probably quite a small percentage, but I think you'd be surprised at just how many people actually come by themselves, or if it's just like one adult and children or whatever, you know, one classified adult, I'll say. So yeah, I think Richard's gonna, maybe not this year, but I think Richard's definitely gonna feel the pinch of that, you know, later on. In future years, and I wouldn't be surprised if they start selling off some of their older boats to reduce their fleet, because what's the point of having boats that are not getting used and nobody's using them? So yeah, that was a bit of news that happened earlier this year on the Norfolk Pods, and like I say, I'm not blaming anybody, and I'm not sort of criticising anybody, you know, per se, I'm just saying this happened at the start of the year, and from a personal point of view, I think it was very badly handled, very poorly handled, and yeah. I mean, I used to work in hotels, in the hotel reception, you know, and if we overbooked the hotel, you know, not only did we have to sort of apologise to the guests. I mean, it might have all changed now, and that was like 20, 30 years ago I did this. But not only did we have to apologise to the guests, we actually had to rebook them into another hotel and pay for that room, because that was our mistake, you know, and they couldn't get the hotel they wanted or the room they wanted, so we had to rebook them into another hotel and pay for that hotel room, because we made the error and we've inconvenienced them. And the way you apologise is that, okay, well, we've got you another room, you know, and because we messed up, we're going to pay for your room, you know. That's why hotels, well, at least back then, I don't know if it's what it's like now, but at least back then, you know, hotels tried not to overbook. You know, we were very careful about overbooking, because obviously it cost the hotel, you know. And I'm not saying Richardson should have paid for the holidays, the full holidays, but they maybe should have, at the bail, instead of £50 gift voucher, I've turned around and said, right, you know, gone to other boatyards and said, right, we're changing this policy, you know, we need to get these people on similar style boats, you know, and we'll pay 50% or a quarter or like 25% of the cost of it, or whatever, you know. I don't know, but I think Richardson's definitely should have handled that better. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. So that's why I was very glad I tried Barnes Brinkcraft this year, and it's also why, unfortunately, unless I have somebody that joins me on one of my little adventures sometimes, I will never be back on the Richardson's boat. Which is a bit of a shame, because there was a couple of boats there that I actually did want to try, but that's obviously not going to happen now, you know. So anyway, yeah, the day continues to be lovely. I'm just cruising on up the river here. It's glorious. Like I said, a wee bit of a breeze, bit of a nip to it, but it's turning into a wonderful day. Well, the time is currently 10:05. I'm having a lovely day's cruise, and it's just great. So I'm going to go there now. I've rambled on enough, too much about the Great Norfolk Broad Scandal of 2018. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it the Great Norfolk Broad Scandal. So yeah, I'm going to go there now. If you have been, if you have been, I'm not finishing the day. What the hell am I talking about? You know, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I will of course keep you updated as to what happens. So yes, until later, until I've got something more to update you with, I shall speak to you soon. So until then, bye for now. Cheers. just a little wee update for you. Turning into such a beautiful day. I keep saying that. Obviously because it was so wet and windy at the start of the week. It's just fabulous. The weather of the day. It did get a wee bit sort of nippy because there was a wee bit of a breeze, and when the boat turned into it was coming through the open window, and I was like getting wee goosebumps on my arms there, so I put my wee sort of my hoodie on. But it really is a beautiful day today. I'm just leaving Wroxham. I came all the way up the River Bure, through Horning, straight on up to Wroxham. I had hoped to get under the bridge. Unfortunately, it's not happening. The height markers are showing about 6'3" for the bridge. I am 6'7", and to tell you the truth, yeah, I'm not chancing it. I know sometimes these height markers are on the side of caution, and you know they can be a few inches out. You know, so 6'3" I might get under at a squeeze, maybe. But to tell you the truth, there's no point in chancing it. You know, if the height marker says you won't go under, don't chance it. Why risk it? You know, just. Yeah, so I'm turning around and I'm going back down, which means I need to figure out where I'm going to go, and I've no idea whatsoever. So I'm going to nip down the river, see what's what. There was a space at the free moorings in Horning, and there was plenty of space outside the Swan in Horning. And I'm actually thinking, I would have liked to have stayed tomorrow night in Horning, because that would have been a nice wee sort of straight up to Wroxham to drop the boat off. But to tell you the truth, I've never actually. It's been years. I mean, I have been to the Swan once. A long time ago, before the whole adventure sort of started, because it was like a 4-week break in 2012 that made me fall back in love with boating. So I just need to make sure, because the Broads Tour boat came out. That's not anywhere around me, so we're cool. And on that sort of 4-night adventure, well, 4-night trip I should say, I did go to the Swan Inn, you know, but I've never actually been to the Swan since then, and I've done the New Inn and I've done the Ferry Inn, so maybe if I can get moored up outside the Swan today, maybe I should just go to the Swan, spend the night at the Swan, see what that's like, see what the beer's like, see what the food's like, you know, and just take it from there. And then tomorrow I can just worry about where I'm going tomorrow. You know, I can always do Wroxham or Salhouse, Fern and Feathers. I better not go there tomorrow night after what happened last time I was there. Yes, yeah, so that's the update. Unfortunately, I had hoped to get under the Wroxham Bridge and up to Coulter's Hill, but with the rain and everything like that, no, I really don't think it's going to happen on this particular journey, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, these things happen, you know. You just have ideas what you want to do, and then just sort of sort your day out accordingly. So yeah, we're going to go back down to Horning. It shouldn't take me too long, and on a day like this, you know, it's glorious weather, you know, it's a wonderful cruise. The time is, it's just about 11:35 at the moment, so it really won't take me any length of time at all. I might even stop off for Salhouse or Wroxham and stretch the legs a wee bit. see what's what, and then just flutter on back down the river. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to head back down the river, see where it takes me. The idea, not the plan, the idea is spend the night in Horning somewhere, but that may change. You know, we'll just have to wait and see how the rest of the day goes. But it's a lovely day. Thoroughly enjoying having a good stretch of the boating legs today, and I'm just like sort of puttering around, not really doing anything or going anywhere. So yes, it's a wonderful day. So until later, as always, I'll keep you updated on how things go and where I end up, and yeah. So until later, I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now. Cheers.
Okay, just a little wee update for you. Moored up, that's me done. I'm actually down at Horning. I left Wroxham, obviously I couldn't get under the bridge. I took a lovely, sedate, nice, peaceful wee, sort of gentle wee strolling cruise down the River Bure. Gorgeous weather, absolutely beautiful, hardly any wind, lovely and warm, especially after that sun. There's some clouds rolling over, but it's still lovely, lovely day indeed. Came down, I kind of thought I was going to end up outside the Swan, but there happened to be one space just big enough for me to slot in on the free moorings, so I grabbed that instead. Much preferred that because they've got the posts here, whereas outside the Swan they've got the mooring rings, and we all know that me and mooring rings don't go very easily, you know, when you're trying to work it all out yourself. So very, very happy where I am, and that's going to be me for the day. I'm going to spend the night here. Horning's a lovely wee place to spend the evening. I'll have a wee wander around, visit all the wee shops, go into the Swan, I think, and get a few pints and an early dinner, I think, definitely. And I'm planning on going to the Swan because, well, I've not really been to the Swan yet, have I? I mean, I've been to the New Inn, very impressed with the New Inn, fantastic wee place. You can reserve your moorings there as well. Very handy if you're wanting to go back take your boat back to Wroxham the following morning. But I've already been at the New Inn. I was at the Ferry Inn, although it's Ferry House a bit further down the river. I think I need another visit there, but that time wasn't really sort of too impressed. Nothing terribly wrong with that, just maybe it was just bad luck when I visited. But I've never really actually eaten or had a wee drink in the Swan yet, so that's where I'm going to go today. We'll give a wee Admiral's review of the Swan later on. I'm sure I'll come back for the dark side for that. So yes, that's me for the day, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's a lovely wee mooring here, and yeah, so I'm going to I'll go there now, and well, actually, now there's a thing. When am I going to do the Admiral's walkthrough? Because we could do that today, or we'll do that tomorrow. Not really sure where I'll end up tomorrow. I'll maybe do that tomorrow. But yes, I'm going to call it a night here. If you have been watching, this will be the end of day 6 of the Great Norfolk Broads Adventure 5. I might be back later. You know what I'm like. I always say this is the end of day whatever, and I always come back for the little something on the dark side after a few pints. But yeah, if I don't come back later, this is indeed the end of day 6, and I will see you tomorrow on day 7, the last full day of the adventure number 5. So I've no idea where I'm going to go. Usually I end up at Horning for going back to Wroxham, but obviously I'm here today, so maybe I'll end up at Salhouse. So if I'm feeling really brave and don't mind a really early start, I might even nip down to spend my final night at Ramworth, although if I do that, I'm going to have to be up uber early in order to get the boat back to Wroxham on Saturday morning. But I'll worry about that tomorrow. I'm not going to concern myself too much with that tonight. So yes, if you have been watching, thank you. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's been definitely a far better cruising day than the rest of the week. It's been the best weather so far, which is just typical since I'm almost finished. But yes, I will maybe see you later, but if not, I will see you tomorrow on day 6, day 7. I'll see you tomorrow on day 7 of the Great Norfolk Broads Adventure 5. So until then, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now. Cheers. Show me the way to go home. Bum, bum, bum. I'm tired and I wanna go to bed. Bum, bum, bum.
I had a little drink about 10 minutes ago and it's gone right to my... Good evening, YouTube. How are we doing? I hope all is well with you. All is well with me tonight. Oh yes indeed. Right, okay, I'm not going to hang around too much, right? Okay, this is just going to be a little very short wee little sort of blabberation of my experience of the Swan Inn tonight, okay? Because it's going to be a short, because to tell you the truth, okay, my belly can't take much more. She can't take much more, Captain. She's gonna blow. Yes, my poor wee belly. She's been expanding throughout all the week, and she's kind of reached a limit. Okay, and I can't take much more, and I need to undo the trousers and let everything just go like that. So, but I can't do that in public because I'd probably get arrested for terrorism charges if I let it all fall out. Oh my god, no! The horror! The pain! You know, so... so yeah, I'm going to make this really short tonight, okay? I went to the Swan tonight. It's probably been about the only place in Horning that I haven't done sort of an official Admiral's sort of review, if you like. Been to the ferry, been to the New Inn, never really been to the Swan. Now, I was at the Swan many years ago when I did my first sort of, before the adventure started, you know, my sort of, it was a 4-night short break, and it was a sort of introduction back into the boating. You know, do I really love boating as much as I think I did? So that was before the adventure started. I didn't really go anywhere, I didn't really do anything, you know, I didn't really know anything about the Broads, you know, or anything like that. So, yeah, I just sort of plooted around the Horning, Wroxham, not Achill, River Ant area, you know. And one of the places I visited was the Swan Inn. Now, way back then, when I was a lad, you know, and you know, in days of old when nights were bold and toilet paper wasn't invented, they wiped the bums against the walls and walked away contented. No, when I was a lad, no, not when I was a lad, when I was younger. When I went to the Swan, it was okay. I remember it being okay. But I remember, you know, you don't go to the Swan if you want a quick meal. You know, because it took kind of an age to get served. It took kind of an age for the meal to arrive. You know, the starter. Then you waited for the main course. And then you waited for the dessert. And then you waited for your bill. And then you waited for your change. You know, everything was very sort of, you know, you went for the Swan and it was a nice meal and such, but, you know, give yourself a good couple of hours or more to have that said meal, because it wasn't coming to you anytime soon. But I can't talk. My tongue's gone all funny. I was drinking a beer called Black Sheep tonight, by the way, and it was very good. Very good. And I think the reason they call it the Black Sheep is because after a few pints it makes you the black sheep of the whole fucking family. Yeah. What was I saying? It was very good. Yes, it was. But as I understand it, I think it has undergone some sort of refurbishment or change in procedures, management, staff. I'm not sure. I think something's changed. It's a very nice place to sit, by the way. I had a lovely comfy armchair right by a set of sort of those type of French patio bloody cross-beam sort of windows overlooking the river. I could have sat in the beer garden. That would have been lovely as well, but I didn't. But it was a lovely, lovely, lovely armchair. Yeah, it was. I've got to say, the meal actually really was beautiful. Okay, I mean, if you go there, okay, I highly recommend. What was that? Black pearl scallops and prawns. I can't remember what type of sauce they come with, but oh man, fucking gorgeous. Oh Jesus, and it came with like a bruschetta bread, you know, which you could dip in the sauce, you know, and soak it off. Oh, it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And then for my main course, I tried to be. I was tempted by something fancy from the main menu, but I decided to let's go simple. Let's go pizza, you know. So I had a Cajun chicken pizza, and I thought it would just be like sort of, you know, something like a fresh pizza sort of het up. It wasn't, by the way. Totally wasn't. It was like freshly prepared. It wasn't even round. It came in all sort of weird sort of shapes, you know, on a big sort of massive wooden plate with your pizza cutter. You know, honestly, it was seriously good, by the way. Serious bit of pizza. I was absolutely bloody. And then obviously I had an apple and rhubarb crumble to finish, which was just sort of crumbly and appley and rhubarby and ice creamy because I had ice cream with it. And oh, it was, oh, you know, I really did. In case you didn't know, okay, I really enjoyed the Swan Inn. I don't know what's happened over the last few years. I think maybe with the way a lot of establishments in the area have started, you know, and the quality that's been happening in the area over the last few years has really sort of invigorated the Swan to do its own thing, sort of kick it up the backside a bit. But seriously, that was a seriously good meal. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Oh, and by the way, okay, when you approach the Swan, just in case I forget to mention it, if you approach the Swan, right, and there's no moorings available in the free moorings, right, it doesn't look like it, but there is actually mooring rings outside the Swan. You can't reserve a mooring. I tried that, unfortunately. So you can't reserve a mooring. So it's kind of first come first serve. But when you approach the Swan and the beer garden out front, you don't see any posts or anything like that, and you think, I can't moor there, you know. But there is actually sort of mooring rings indented into the quayside. So yeah, if you want to eat at the Swan, okay, but you can't see any space in the free moorings, okay, don't worry, okay. It doesn't look like it, but come into the quayside right in front of the Swan by the beer garden and you will see the mooring rings. They're there, they are there, you know, and you can use them to moor up. So don't be put off by the fact that you can't see anything. Excuse me. You can moor there. Right. That being said, I'm gonna go, okay? I really have overeaten and overdrank way too much. And I really need to let the bulbous body breathe. I mean, I'm fucking rat ass, by the way. Oh, But yes, so my opinion of the Swan Inn, fantastic. It's really kicked itself up the arse over the last couple of years. I'm really glad I finally got a chance to try it. I thoroughly enjoyed the beer, the meal, you know, the whole sort of sitting there in a big comfy chair, you know. Yeah, it was fantastic. Really thoroughly enjoyed it. So I'm glad I went there, and I would definitely go back. And just for the record, the Swan Inn gets an Admiral's approval. Yeah, he even gets a Tiberius approval, doesn't he? Yeah, he's fucking at us, he's fucking on his back. Did the Swan get your approval? Yeah, will you tell that to the viewers? I'm all over the place. Yeah, I know. He gets your approval, doesn't he? Yeah, okay, right, okay. You bugger off and sit by the window again. Okay, look out and try not to fall over this time. You've had way too much as it is. Much like his Admiral. Right, I'm gonna go. If you have been watching today, thank you very much. This is the end of day 6 of the Great Norfolk Broads Adventure 5. It's been a great day, glorious weather. It's still quite mild, the wind's still pretty much non-existent, and it's turning into a lovely evening. I'm gonna go chill out for the rest of the evening, relax, you know, and just enjoy the rest of the evening that the evening has to offer as the sun goes down. So if you have been watching, thank you, and I hope to see you again tomorrow on day 7, the last full day of the Great Norfolk Broads Adventure 5, and I've no idea where I'm going to go. At worst, I'll go about an hour up the river to Wroxham Broad, and that'll be it. I might go elsewhere beforehand, I really don't know, but if you have been, thank you. It's been great, it's been a fantastic day today, been proper Broads broating at its very best, so here's hoping that tomorrow is just as good. So until tomorrow, thanks for watching. This is your Admiral, he's gonna pass out. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Cheers.